Hey everybody! Happy Monday night. It's me, it's Michael B. Tonight, we're going to be talking all about that Killer Instinct sizzle reel that came out. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it misleading? And I think that's the one we're going to land on. Anyways, guys, chill and chat with Michael B. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. So everybody, I want to first off say thank you so much for being here tonight, and I apologize to anybody who joined at 8 o'clock Eastern when I scheduled the stream for apparently. Apparently, I don't math so good. So thank you to everybody that's here tonight. Thank you so much to everybody who's joined me. Sorry if I'm a little loud. I just saw my speech go all the way to 27 or all the way to 11 for you. All the way to 11 for you. Oh my God, I can't remember. Spinal Tap fans. So I saw a couple chats and people here I want to say hello to. I saw Console Kits, hello Console Kits, Frostinator 1980, Adam 12, Frank D, The Dawn of Time, Don Chafee, Papa Brad's Gaming, Benji's Garage Game Room, Bob Oif, Bobby Timpson, Sean P, Nick Madsen, Jacob Romero, that's very nice of you to say, brother, JJ, D's Games, and Tyler Fisher asked a really cool question. He just sold his house, which is something I've been thinking about doing myself. And it gave him space to get 3 new cabs. Definitely Big Blue. If you're going to go beat them up, I mean, right now, if you don't have Turtles, I mean, Turtles is that new Turtles in Time cabinet does look good. Plus, those games are both incredible. Even though I would wish they did the original art, you could go that direction. X-Men, Simpsons, they're all great games. You can't lose on that one. Now, for the third one, I don't know. It depends on what you want, man. Overthink Gaming, what's happening, brother? I almost wrote you earlier today, Overthink. I got to talk to you about your camera. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out Overthink Gaming. He has the cleanest image on screen I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like I'm looking directly into his soul. Zero Hero, what's happening, brother? Frank D, Mounterance Ross, Console Fanboy, Zohar. I got your message, Zohar, about Metroid Dread. I'm right at the end, so I'm about to see what you're going to say. Hopefully later tonight, brother. Anyways, let's get started. Tonight we're talking about Killer Instinct. More so, we're talking about that video that was released by Arcade1Up earlier this week. Well, sort of released. It's up on their official page. Like, if you go to the page and look up the Killer Instinct arcade cabinet, you can find the video. And also, our good friend Lewis Chambers on Twitter actually released the video too. Apparently it's really hard to find on YouTube, and I found out why. It's actually an unlisted video, so if you just go search it on the YouTube app, you're not going to find the Killer Instinct sizzle reel. But if you go to their page, you can find it there and go to the YouTube app and pick it up, or go to Lewis Chambers' Twitter and find it that way. If you go to the description, you'll actually find in the description of this video, you'll actually find links to both those. Lewis Chambers' Twitter, and you'll also find the link to the YouTube video as well, even though it's unlisted. So you can go check it for yourself. 19K Fox thinks that a Star Wars stand-up will come back out. I sure hope so. There's been people that have been leaning on the fence thinking that we're going to get the other Star Wars series. So the Sega? Yeah, the Sega Star Wars, the later Star Wars games on the next one. So we'll see what happens. Mike of All Trades camera is great too. Yeah, I've heard that. I've got to go check that out. 19K Fox has it too. I've been looking at new cameras. I actually wrote Justin, asked him what he had. P-Dub's just got a new camera, so I got camera FOMO right now. I'm out of room for arcade cabinets. Got to spend money on something, I guess. Anyways, let's go back and talk about Arcade1Up's Killer Instinct video, because I watched it and people were getting excited, and I was like, there's some really concerning stuff in here, and I know the difference. I know that the problem with that video is it's just a bad video. And I hate to say this because Arcade1Up usually do such a good job with their teaser videos and sizzle videos. WKRP in Cincinnati, what's happening? Cheesy B here. I would love a stand-up Star Wars. I am so glad I got it. And I got to give credit to a couple people on that. Justin Console Kits has the most watched Arcade1Up Star Wars video out there for his review of Star Wars. And I must have watched that 100 times before I jumped in and finally bought it. So go check that out. But KI is way overhyped. A lot of people feel that way. Not everybody's down with the KI hype. Now, me personally, hey, Bobby Vu, what's happening, brother? I got all my stuff. Oh yeah, for the people that watch me, hey Mad Dad's Gaming, what's happening, brother? So for all the people that watch me on Thursday's past episode on Kong Zaros's channel, Zod Writer, Neil Before Zod, Meatball Saucy, P-Dub Stream Raid. P-Dub's is a good guy. Thanks for sending all the people over. So for those of you who saw me on Build Your Own Legends, you know I didn't have any of my stuff. I hadn't got started, so I'm caught for time, but I did get all my equipment today. So I got all my parts, tested my board, got everything updated. So I'm ready to go. Tomorrow I'm going to get my wood, and I'm fast tracking. I'm going to do everything I can to do the time and get my build done. Killer Instinct smells funny to me. My Star Wars is with B-Kong now. I wonder why, Papa Brad. I wonder why. P-Dubs, thank you so much for sending everybody over. Rubicon Alpha, David Deming, everybody who came over, thank you very much. Kongs are us! Yes, I'll be ready for the final of BYOL, I promise. Overthinker, I think you were with me. It's not the camera, it's the lens. Yeah, I know that. Maybe I gotta just get a different lens. Okay, anyways, back to KAI. They did Herb Wars. They did the sizzle reel video, and obviously it's just not a good video. And like I said, Arcade1Up's videos are usually so well done. Love the advertising they do. Like I think back to that Miss Pac-Man release video they did last year, just fire. But this one just wasn't very good, and I think it's a little bit of a problem with the fact that there's some issues with it. So first off, let's talk about the cabinet itself. It's clear that the renderings we're seeing is the new cabinet that we saw through the Toycade video last week. So obviously they've changed some things with the Arcade1Up, Killer Instinct. Console Fanboy, thank you very much. KI will forever be an MK clone to me. I don't respect it. Be your own game, KI. Oh, Console Fanboy, thank you so much for the super chat. P-Dubs let us out early. So Console Fanboy, yes, KI is kind of an MK clone. We were in a state where MK became such a cultural phenomenon, and you'll love to hear me say that, but it's true, that everybody tried to emulate their own version of it. They took the best parts of Street Fighter and the best parts of what made Mortal Kombat so special and tried to make their own game. Sega did it with Sega's own game, which was P-Dub's favorite game on the Genesis, Eternal Champions, and of course Nintendo had Killer Instinct. Obviously, Killer Instinct is a little bit better the game, so yeah. Anyways, Footy Laughs, what's happening, brother? I'm not surprised to see you here. If you guys don't know, Footy Laughs was one of the very first people who had that X-Men vs. Street Fighter cab. Very involved with the whole X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom online community. Go check him out. Twisted Chris, what's happening, brother? I can guarantee I could beat you at any fighting game, Console Fanboy. I've got a feeling, Twisted Chris, you're definitely going to beat Zohar at Killer Instinct. That's not going to be a problem. Well, anyways, I can't say that for sure, but I got a feeling it might go like Street Fighter. What's happening, Phil's Notebook? So, if I'm ever going to get back on track, I apologize. So, I think the problem was with the video. They got an old cabinet, first off, and you're looking at that cabinet and you're like, wow, that doesn't look great. That doesn't look exactly like what Toycade showed in his video. So it's the old cabinet. If you take a look at the video they did in Florida, hey Rainwater Games, if you take a look at the video that they did in Florida recently going through the warehouse, there was a Killer Instinct there. But it was a Killer Instinct that was basically built directly in one of these legacy units. Same as Mortal Kombat 2, the Midway Legacy, same as Street Fighter 2. And what we know, hey, Akuma Rev, what's happening? So, what we know is that John D said originally Killer Instinct was going to be in that new Legacy cab. That was going to be the new standard form factor for Arcade1Up cabinets. However, they caught it in time where they heard feedback from the community and they really wanted to do a good job with Killer Instinct, so they made some modifications. What about Pit Fighter? Pit Fighter can stay where it's to, Carlisle. So they made some modifications to the cabinet, and we've seen that in Toycade's video. If you take a look at it now, it's going to be taller because they took those two side panels on the side that add about, I think it's like 5 to 6 inches with Big Blue, and it's going to actually raise the cabinet up. And if you guys watched my video that I did on the Buy Stuff Store riser extenders, you know that it's an extra 4 to 6 inches is what you need to actually clear that line of sight issue. So for the people that were looking at that cabinet saying, man, this is a lot like the Legacy cabinet, it's going to have that same line of sight issue, know this, it's not going to have the same line of sight issue. I'm 5'11", and with an extra couple inches, I can see the screen pretty clearly. So I think that's going to be a lot better. The next up is the fact that you look at it, and in the ad, and even with the pictures they still have online, it's the wrong cabinet, so they're not doing themselves any friggin' favors here. So it shows on the online, on their online pictures, the ones I've used for this thumbnail, and in that video, that the cabinet actually has that ledge that is so hotly debated from the legacy cabinets, which, man, sucks. It sucks for fighters. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate it, brother. Thank you. And you didn't have to do that, man. Thank you very much. So it's got that, ledge on the side. But we know for a fact from Toy K's video, it's the same as the new Midway Legacy, which is the, Defender 40th Anniversary cabinet. They actually put an extra piece of wood underneath the control panel and have a longer J panel. So now the controller comes up flush with those ledges on the side. So you're not going to have that issue either. You're going to have a little bit more space on the sides. That's good. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about with the Killer Instinct Modified is the fact they've raised up the control panel a little more. I always found where the Arcade1Up control panels was a good height. But this one's going to be that extra 4 to 5 inches taller. So for people that like, say for example, the height of the iArcade's control panel and find that a lot more comfortable, especially if you're tall, this is probably going to be a good advancement for you. The other thing too is, I want to talk about the screen. It looks like the screen is more slanted. Arcade1Up has gone hard fast to put in their cabinets and the screen's more at that vertical angle again, which I don't understand why we've gone like a step back. Like Wave 3 and above, we had that slanted angle and it was perfect. They've gone more vertical with these last sets of cab. Hey, Jamie Locum, what's happening, brother? Jamie, who's a dude. iArcade is awesome. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. And I'm very excited for tomorrow's announcement when we get Sharp Pixels back. I can't wait. So the screen is a little bit more straight. Now, we also know John D talked about it. It's going to have a more slanted screen. Also awesome. Also, if you look at the marquee in the video and in Toycade's video still has a little bit of wings, but they don't look as pronounced. The marquee looks a little further out. So with the Arcade marquee a little further out and a little bit slanted, also with the screen more slanted and the extra height, I think you're going to get a good viewing angle. I sense an excess about of PCBs being bricked the first week of these things coming out, since an excess of Killer Instinct PCBs. Why is that, Dreamcast Kyle? That's interesting. Hey, William Tinney, what's happening, brother? Vertical equals light guns. Yeah, maybe that's where it started. I know with... I always thought that Buck Hunter had the smallest screen, but it's 100% vertical. It's just boom. Jamie is a dude. It's a long-standing thing. Jamie used to come to our Super Game Room Dude shows, and P-Dubs used to think he was a girl. So he had to say, I'm a dude, man. Oh yeah, here we go. Console fanboy, you're leading me exactly to my next point. Michael, do you think the gameplay video of KI was grainy to hide the fact it wasn't running directly off that 1UP screen? I don't think it was grainy because of that fact, Zohar, and I'm moving a little bit ahead, but I'll go there anyways because you asked, and thank you again so much for the super chat. I think the video was grainy because the people that are doing the video are really good at video production, shooting videos, but aren't familiar with screen capping video games. And they took a video game and then stretched the picture. Or for some reason, the video game they had was in the wrong aspect. And then they used that footage, and it drove me crazy. I'm looking at it, and that looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. And the only thing I can think is this is a production company, advertising company that's very good with taking video and shots, because all that stuff was fine. Like the angles, the shots, the editing, fantastic. The video game footage looked like crap. It was a pie. That's what Papa Brad says. Maybe. I'm not sure exactly where they got the gameplay footage, but they never should have used that because it made it look like crap. And I don't think that that's what the final picture is going to look like. Twisted Chris, I got you, brother. It's in the description for this video. What happened was Arcade1Up put it up, but they've got it left unlisted for some reason. So it's on their website, on the KI ad itself, And I've got the link down to the unlisted video I stole from there. And also, Lewis Chambers on Twitter, he also shared it as well. So both those links are down in my video description. They used the Pi 4 not optimized correctly. I think so. And, like, they downloaded some random YouTube video. No sweat. Console Kids, I'll tell you a funny story about that. There was a huge controversy a couple of years ago that YouTubers were getting mad at other YouTubers because they weren't using their own gameplay footage. So some YouTubers would go on and just find like footage of games and use it in their videos and then not give credit to where they got it from. It was a huge controversy in like the retro gaming community and also like the new gaming community. I stayed out of it. I've always grabbed my own footage. Stupidly sometimes too, I'll go back and play the same game like 100 times, even though I've got footage on my thumb drive. I'll just play it again because it's easier to just flat out download it from someone's YouTube channel. Killer Arcade Games, I think you're right. Anyways, the footage they used on the commercial never should have been used. Either use what's on the screen or figure out some way to output your own image. Because here's the thing. So many people are nervous about how this game's going to look and how this game's going to run on Arcade1Up's hardware. You did yourself a massive disservice by using that footage, because the first thing that happens is people think that's how the game's going to look, and it's not going to look. You can see from the regular video that they're showing on that cabinet, the game looks crisp. But the footage they use made it look like shit. It's so confusing. Why would you do that? Yeah, ETA Prime did a video, thanks Oddwriter, where you can optimize Pi 4 to properly play Killer Instinct, but it's a lot of extra work and you have to do all kinds of ridiculous updates. I've never grabbed my own footage for my old school shiznit. You're a good man, Mike. Everybody say hello to my good buddy Mike Stankmaskgartner. Mike is an old school YouTuber. We've been friends for years. He has some of the best videos on YouTube. Go check him out, man. Garage Gamer, what's happening, brother? Footage seen on screen seems real. It was only a second or two, though. They went through the trouble to connect the cab to something playing a video. That's a horrible sign. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, Papa Brad's Gaming brings up a good point. They will get the emulation. I'm calling it. They got Code Mystics working on it. Yeah, 100% right. And thank you so much, Killer Arcade Games, for being here, by the way. I appreciate it, brother. Papa Brad, I don't have any concern, really, about the emulation. I think, Code Mystics got it. I think it's going to look good. I think it's going to run well. I just think that, unfortunately, they use really, really, really bad video footage that just made it look like garbage. And everybody's already so ready to do a hot take on how this game is not going to run on their hardware. They should not have used that footage, because I was looking at it and I was like, is that the Super Nintendo game? But it's not. It's the arcade ROM. It's just running on something else, some kind of emulator that output, and they threw it up on screen. First thing KI Cab will need is a speaker upgrade for that awesome sound. You bring up a really good point, Nick Madsen, that I wasn't going to bring up. I love my Big Blue cabinet. Fantastic. I haven't got to play it much. I'm hoping to jump down there and get a chance to play it a little bit tonight. But for some reason, man, the sound is not great on that cabinet. And I don't know if they just... Twisted Chris, so you saw the footage. You know why it looks like that. You're the expert in Killer Instinct, man. Let us know. Because I have no idea. The only thing I can think is they stretched the image, or they're just using some kind of gameplay that's already stretched. I trust Killer Arcade Games. I do too. I don't know if Killer Code Mystics is doing the Tron cab. I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, Stankbass, that Outrun cab is pretty sweet, brother. I got it right next to my Golden Axe, too. Sega love. I hope for the fans the actual cabinet looks and plays better than the sizzle reel. That sizzle reel is such a disservice, man. Should ask Code Mystics for raw footage on their cross-compiled emulator. Code Mystics has raw footage of Star Wars cab. It's clear the emulator running on PC development kit. Big Blue has grown on me. Okay, so I'm waiting for Twisted Chris, if you saw that, to get back to us and tell us why it's that way. But while I do it, the sound on Big Blue is not great. And I'm not sure if they're trying to hide the pixelation on the game because it's on an LCD screen. So you think they're using a smoothing filter? I hope not. Dear God. I mean, pixelation's a good thing. We like sharp pixels. And we like options. Scan lines, other options. We do not like smoothing. Please tell me, dear God. Overthink Gaming, yes. Big Blue's a little low, man. Like, the sound's not great, and I don't know if it's an issue with the way it was programmed or if it's an issue with the speaker. So, dear God, if it's something to do with the speakers, let's hope that they used better speakers for Killer Instinct, because you're going to need that bass, man. I mean, Killer Instinct is got that sound, that amazing arcade sound, so don't do it a disservice by using the wrong speakers in it. Yeah, Dreamcast Kyle, did you just pick up a KI cabinet? Who will win, Twisted versus Killer? Now, see, when this cabinet comes out, if both of them get it, that's the matchup we got to see on Put Your Quarters on the Glass. Get Rev V and everybody involved in that. That's disappointing to hear about Big Blue's sound. That's a cab I'd purchase if I found it on sale a few months from now. Oh, To Die For, Michael B. Wiggle the 3M, you'll get better sound quality on the Big Blue. Bobby Vu, I'm going to try that again, but I had to do that in the first place. When I plugged in my Big Blue speakers for the first time on my second cabinet, I was only getting sound from one speaker, so I had to wiggle it, and then that's how I finally got sound from the second speaker. But yeah, man, I'll try again, anything I can do, because the sound is really drowned out. It almost sounds like it's the mono signal. Like, yeah, make sure that it's plugged all the way in. Definitely go back and try it again. It's got to do something. The shoutouts are a big part of it dominating the arcade soundscape. Well, that was a thing, right? Like, it had to go over everybody else. I had the same problem Bobby Vu says. I'll play with the speakers some more and see if I can get it working. Because, like, that's the one thing. Like, I love that cabinet. I love the way it looks. I love the way it plays. I can't wait to play them in KI as well. Mad Dads, I didn't watch, like, the stream live, but I actually watched you guys play from my cabinet. When was it when you did that? Friday. Was it Friday after Super Game Room Dudes? I went downstairs and I got to play Big Blue for the first time online. Got my, well, not first time with my new cabinet, got my butt kicked. And then I actually watched you guys from the cabinet play, and I wasn't sure if that was a live play or not, but you took it to UAG, man. Yeah, Twisted got the hookup. LOL, they would put in good speakers, then have to pass the cost along when we would be looking at more YouTube videos complaining about prices. I know. What do you do? KI in the original arcade machine looks good because it's on a CRT machine. Put it on an LCD, shows more pixels, so the way they're filming it, they're trying to make it look smooth. Okay, so if they're only adding the smoothing effect in post-production on the video, that's fine. As long as they're not making the pixels, like, that's been, like, one of my biggest complaints about Arcade1Up stuff the last little while, and my big complaint about iArcade is the fact that they're using some kind of, I think it's called bilinear filtering, some kind of smoothing option to try to hide the pixels. Pixels are good. Sharp pixels are good. Us retro gamers like the sharp pixels. Maybe we like scanline options and pixel perfect options, but we do not like bilinear filtering. The Vaseline smoothing does not work. Nobody wants it. Twist while you turn mic. That should get it snug. You don't want to push harder than snug. That is a good question. I think Twisted Gaming is, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I think John D did say, when it was announced on the original video, that he was possibly going to send one out to Twisted Chris. Optimized for modern audiences. On the reels, we'll have to wait and see in person. Yeah. Smoothing sucks. I agree, Papa Brad. Twisted, yep, there it is, confirmed. Twisted Chris is supposed to get the first Killer Instinct, so we'll wait and see on that. Killer Arcade. Interesting. Code Mystic Scanline Tech is incredible on the Golden Axe and Pong Pub Table. Nothing to worry about. It is really good. Let's push hard if it's snug. So, it is good, but scanline options aren't always perfect. And, like, one thing I noticed with Outrun, it looks good, but it definitely makes the picture a lot darker. So, Mad Dad's, I know he does. I watch him play, and that's the crazy thing too. Like honestly, if you want to get better, watch other people, watch what they do, study what they do. So, yeah, that's the thing. Like if someone's really good at something, like I've been doing a lot of it on Big Blue because I suck. I suck at Street Fighter. I know I do. I've always just played against a computer, played for fun, played against my friends. I'm late. What KI machine news do you have? Hey, Media Glitch, what's happening, brother? So what we're doing is Arcade1Up released a sizzle reel this past week, and unfortunately they used an old version of their cabinet in the sizzle reel, and they also used some weird footage that actually made it look pretty poor on their end in the sizzle reel. The sizzle reel actually did it some disservice, and I meant to add in Toycade's video in my description. I'll do that after the fact because you've got to go in and check out Toycade's video because he has the most released version. So they added some side panels like Big Blue, which is going to raise it up about 4 or 5 inches. So that means everything's going up. The screen, the marquee, everything's going up. And also the video, like I said, is a disservice. The only other thing I really wanted to talk about with Killer Instinct that I was a little bit concerned with is, especially for anybody who's had a Mortal Kombat 2 marquee from Arcade1Up. So if you got the aftermarket marquee, or if you got one of the other marquees like the, the Costco version, or even with the Legacy Midway. Legacy Midway is a little bit better, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Arcade1Up's stickers that they use, or artwork that they use on their little light box marquees with blacks tend to wash out really easily. And if you take a look in that video, you can see exactly where the light strip is. It just does not look good, and I'm concerned about that because you've got this beautiful, iconic Killer Instinct cab, and then that marquee. When's the release date? I don't know the release date exactly. There's a link up on Arcade1Up's page. You can check it out. Pre-orders should be coming out relatively soon. Everything we've heard is fall, but I'm thinking we're probably looking at Christmas to first quarter 2022. I can't say anything until the pre-order drops. I can't say for sure. So yeah, that marquee, I hope that since that video came out, Arcade1Up took a look at it and realized just this once, like Star Wars, use better quality stickers or better quality peel on whatever they use and make the marquee look proper, because right now it looks crappy. Like if you go back and take a look at the video, it does not look good. There's black around the edges, the Killer Instinct word, and just white strips across. Maybe it's the way the video picked it up, and maybe it's a disservice to what it is. No, they sold out of They sold out of the pre-orders on the Target site. Put Big Blue in the background, not those boxes. When I get down to my other arcade, this is my second arcade at Kumarev. This is my upstairs office arcade because I ran out of room down in my basement. Console fanboy, Michael, there is. I hope there are no MK Trilogy Legacy cabs. Oh, okay. Michael B., sorry if this is a stupid question, but do you know if they're using the original arcade ROMs or the modified ones that make no mention of Nintendo, the Ultra 64? I'm not 100% sure, Kal-El, but I did watch in Toycade's video that there's options on which ROM to use. There's a 1.5D, which is the updated one, and then there's other options as well, but we can't tell right now. That was just in the video, I think. But hopefully once Twisted Chris, who's going to... Hey, Nick Madsen, what's happening? Ernie Rodriguez, thank you so much for being here. Target site said January, I believe. Yes, that's what I thought. Early 2022. But... no Primal Rage. So this is going to be Killer Instinct, Mike Gartner. It's going to be Killer Instinct 2... Hey, Your Average Gamer. I'm going to mention you in 1 second, bro. So, it's going to be Killer Instinct 2, then it's going to have Battletoads Arcade, and then it's also going to be shared by, it's also going to have Battletoads 8-bit, and then Battletoads 16-bit. Now, I don't know, Battletoads 8-bit obviously is the NES game, and that's going to be crazy to try to play on an arcade cabinet. It's hard enough with a regular NES controller if you're used to that. So... Then on number 2, the Battletoads 16-bit. I don't know what that's going to be, because I think there was a Sega Genesis version of Battletoads. I hope it's not that. I hope it's actually going to be Battletoads and Battle Maniacs, which was the Super Nintendo game. We'll see. So UAG is here. What's happening, Your Average Gamer? Everybody, I want to remind you, I mentioned it on Super Game Room Dudes, but Your Average Gamer is going to have a show Wednesday night, the weekly retro party that he does with Mad Dad's Gaming and also with Rainwater Games. And this week, they're going to have John D from Arcade1Up directly on the show. And this isn't just a John D tour video where he gets to come on and say some general questions. This isn't Ask Me Anything. So if you have questions about Killer Instinct or any other Arcade1Up product you want to ask John D, he's going to be answering questions live on the show, so make sure you tune in this Wednesday to the weekly retro party with the boys and John D. They're going to have a really, really good time, so check them out. I know, Nick, but they also didn't want to pay money for it, also confirmed. Yeah, using the Nintendo stuff. Wish they didn't do any of the Battletoads. It just brings it down for me. Yeah, I mean, I'm weird with this stuff, so I play it mainly for the main games on it. I was irritated when X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom first came out, and I thought they were going to be doing. I found out they were going to be doing. What do you even call them? Console ROMs on it. But if you look at it this way, it's just extra games. You never have to play it. Is what it is. Doesn't mean he'll answer anything. That's true. That's 100% true. You might want to ask him why he has a Miami jersey. Maybe there's something behind that. John's the kind of person that if he posts something on social media, you never know if it's just part of his life or there's some kind of thing behind it. So ask him, what's the deal with the Miami jersey? So hyped. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. I think so. And it's good to see John back. You guys know, if you've been watching me for a while here doing this chill and chat stuff, talked about it, and Arcade1Up really needs somebody that interfaces with the community, and it's good to have somebody back in that role. And John's a really good guy. Like, I got a chance to talk to him before he came on my show and did it with me, and like, he's so down to earth. Like, so it's so bizarre. Here's this guy that's a big part of this, community, a big part of working with Arcade1Up, these things that we'd love to do stuff with, and he's, rubbing shoulders with Mike Tyson, AJ Styles, and he's also the same guy that'll just pop on and just have regular conversation with you too. Like, that's actually pretty awesome, man. Hey, no sweat, Rainwater Games. Happy to do so. Yeah, send Jeff any questions you want to ask to Rainwater Games. Like, how much of a cut John D got from those Where is John D Rainwater Games shirts. Fine, I'll buy KI. I don't know if I'm going to buy KI just yet. I'm out of room. So we'll see. And plus, if I do, I've got to give Steven Nostalgia some money. So, yeah. He's one of us. John is the man. He's just a normal dude, man. And he's fun to talk to. He's got great opinions. So, Legends Pinball for the win. I don't... Okay, Papa Brad. Papa Brad, do you want to talk about John D? Where is my Contra and Konami Legacy? All right, easy with the Contra. We don't want Contra as the main game on that cabinet. I think there will be a Konami Legacy coming, guys. I'm buying it because it'll look good next to my original KI cab I have in my house. My kids can learn on that unless they actually do have net play, then I'm all over it. It does. It does have net play, so you can play online. That's the big thing everybody's excited about with all these new arcade cabinets. That's why there was two reasons I bought Big Blue, even though I already had Street Fighter Capcom Legacy. One is the fact that Big Blue looked awesome, and I could play online. The other thing was the Legacy cabinet sucks. Like those control panels and stuff like that. Like, it's not comfortable. So I'm happy I have a Street Fighter cabinet I find comfortable again. And of course, man, playing online makes it all the much sweeter. So, UAG said, Mike B, you get it. Let's be honest. I can't buy everything. I've bought like 90% of the cabs. I'm out of room, man. I wish I was getting it, but, we'll see. Maybe I'll end up getting it. But then look what else you got coming out, man. Terminator 2, like, there's so much. It's not like a couple years ago when they released 3 cabs at E3 and you're like, oh man, I'm going to get all these. Like, how many cabs came out the last 2 years? It had to be 20. Alan, I know, make fun of me. I love how Michael B thinks he can resist buying the new Arcade1Up cabs. I can't resist buying anything. I'm sitting here knowing full well I don't need a Nintendo Switch OLED, and it's all I've thought about for the last... No, I don't want to buy your MVSX, Kyle. Oh, Tyler Fisher, sell your Street Fighter Legacy. Yeah, we might be going there. Sell your Capcom Legacy and get KI. Yeah, but how am I going to play Final Fight in 1944, guys? Zodrider, nobody can afford Killer Instinct. No, I don't want to buy your MVSX. I was actually supposed to get an MVSX, the demo one that was swapping around from P. I'm okay without T2. That KI is sexy. It is. It is. Don't be so hard on KI. I'm interested to see what KI is. I like having the idea of different cabs. So I got a driver in Outrun. I've got, you know, Star Wars. I've got the rollerball, but I don't have a shooter yet. So I'm thinking about it. What about my Punisher? No, I do love Punisher Dreamcast, Kyle. I do. But anyways, going back to the MVSX, I was actually supposed to receive the MVSX as the traveling unit, but everything got messed up with the units that were going around. Like, the traveling unit in the States got the Mad Little Pixel, and then it disappeared, like got lost in transit after him. And then the one that went to Canada made it to Restalgia, and then it was supposed to be sent to me. And like, we've been back and forth with them like 100 times, and they were supposed to send the shipping label to Restalgia. Still trying to get Restalgia a shipping label to send it out to me. It's still, so I've never got to review it. So there we go. Kuma Rev, UAG locking down John D. We were all jealous. How? Yeah, no. John D was like, I'm going to do a tour of all the YouTubers. So he did my show, then he did UAG, and then he just stayed at UAG. But that's okay, man. I like KI on the SNES. Played it more than I did in the arcade. Really? I actually never had the SNES game. I had Killer Instinct on the UAG. Secret is Bitcoin. No one really needs a dozen 1-ups, but plenty of people do for some reason. So, I mean, that comment is... It's hard for me to answer because I'm obviously one of the people that likes having many arcade 1-ups. It's an expensive hobby, sure, but at the same time, it was the same thing as saying to me, nobody needs 800 NES games because you can just buy a Raspberry Pi. Or nobody needs 800 NES games because you can just play it on a computer through emulation. Yes, we all know there's many different ways to play these. Nobody needs 40 real arcade cabinets, but you get what you get because you like it. Everybody's opinion's different, and if you like multicades, cool. I have no problem with that, but some people like 1-ups, some people like real arcades. We like what we like. Yeah, they were just being lazy making the sizzle reel. I don't know if it was lazy so much as Killer Arcade Games, as they stole the footage for the sizzle reel theory I made earlier is real. Really? They stole the footage directly from you? Get out of town. That's funny. Do I keep the sound on or off of my cabs in my arcade? Of course, man. I always leave it on. 100%. That's the whole idea of having multiple cabinets. You like furniture collecting. That's the idea of having multiple cabinets, is so it feels like a real arcade. Killer Arcade Games. I want to see this. I have the link. He found the YouTube video where they stole it from. I gotta see this. My computer's doing some interesting stuff tonight, guys. My video's all over the place. If I have phased out at any point, guys, let me know, because my computer's doing weird stuff. So there's a little bit of investigating stuff going on here in the chat. I'll message you the link on your Instagram if you want to see it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you wanted to... Can we, if we throw it in the chat, can you guys all see it? That's why it was unlisted then. Maybe. I'm really interested to see this, guys. I had to turn on my Facebook Messenger. I'm not surprised. Marketing team is quite ordinary. Yeah, there's a question your average gamer you can ask. Overthink Gaming's on it. There's a question you can ask John D. Cacophony. Sean P., you're going to have to educate me on that. I don't know cacophony. They could have easily connected an Xbox One and got the footage if they needed to capture some. Yeah. So guys, if anybody's looking for any cabinets, there's a Hot Punisher, and there's also an MVSX cabinet available through Dreamcast Kyle. He's moved on to real full-size arcades, so if anybody's interested in that, reach out to Dreamcast Kyle. Marketing is the name itself. They know it's going to sell, which is why it will be damn near. But I don't think... And P-Dubs, thank you so much for being here, brother. I don't think anybody should be surprised by Arcade1Up using footage that doesn't make sense. Like, I made a video, and everybody attacked me afterwards, and probably rightfully so, where I talked about The Simpsons, and I said, The Simpsons looks like it's got a big screen. Their marketing videos aren't exactly the most accurate, up-to-date thing in the entire world. They put stuff there that just really raise more questions. Like when that Simpsons video came out, if you take a close look at the screen actually looks like it's bigger than the usual screens, and it's just a matter of them doing their editing on the screen itself. So, yeah. I'm sure someone was told in-house at Arcade1Up to make this video, and they just grabbed the first footage they found on YouTube. I don't know, Killer Arcade Games, because I can't believe somebody in-house made that. This is definitely through a production company, but maybe the production company, again, didn't know anything about Shotaku Max. Okay, I gotta remember this. But I'm sure the production company just didn't know anything about capturing gameplay, or Arcade1Up couldn't provide it, so they just grabbed the video that way. That's the way I think. A hype reel is just that, a hype reel. Yeah, P-Dubs, but we've Geraldo Riviered it that they actually stole the footage from another YouTuber's video. Yeah, and Twisted Chris has got a really good point here. Honestly, it's just because it's not ready yet. They don't have their own footage. I mean, the cab they shown was said to be the pre-production model. Oh, yeah, in the sizzle reel, 100%. There is no way. Get ready for 20 videos on this. 20 videos with Arcade1Up outsourcing lots of stuff. It looked like it was lagging. Yeah, apparently, P-Dubs, the actual gameplay footage, I had a problem with because it just looked stretched or looked... Bob Oif says, it's unlisted because it was crap and meant to hit delete. I don't think it was. It was just... It was a... I just feel bad, man, because they paid someone to make that. But, you know, if anybody's ever hired a marketing firm to do stuff, it's frustrating because it's almost like you hire somebody to ask you to tell your time because they're like, all right, we're going to make this stuff for you, but we need all the information. You end up doing most of the work. So they probably were coming back to Arcade1Up asking for footage, shots, all this. So, yeah, I don't think they have finalized gameplay of their version of Killer Instinct yet, and I don't think they had anything to show, so I don't know. They got the footage from somewhere, obviously, for the sizzle reel. They had to go early just to get this ready, so they don't have the finalized cab, they don't have the finalized footage, and that's what we have. No, it's unlisted because they added it to their YouTube, but I don't think they're using their YouTube to share that stuff. The video isn't unlisted because it's actually available through their site. If you go into the Killer Instinct thing on their site, you can actually go down and the video's still there. It's just unlisted on YouTube. Oh, yeah, I'm not worried at all, P-dubs. It's just they took a video that made the gameplay look poor, which isn't doing themselves any justice when people are already worried because they know how famously hard Killer Instinct is to emulate. So, yeah, man, it's awesome for us with gorilla-sized hands. No, I got smaller hands, I guess. Yeah, Mason Conrad can make better commercials for them. Lewis, there's about 1,000 YouTubers that can make better commercials for them. It's like, man, but it's what you get. You pay a marketing company, a production company, and what do you do? No offense to them because, again, they might just not have the materials at their hand. They could have said, okay, we're going to make this video for you. Arcade1Up, provide us with some gameplay of Killer Instinct. And they're like, not ready yet. So what do? Mason is awesome. You've seen some of his stuff lately with videos he's doing with Retro Ralph, the Chasing Nostalgia videos, and Chef's Kiss, right? They're really, really good. Arcade1Up making content for YouTubers to create more content. Of course. We're here talking about it tonight. Man, what is going on with my computer? I really hope I'm still streaming. Like, this is nuts. Yeah, I got excellent connection there. I don't know what's going on. Weird. Okay, we're back to green. Here's the link to the footage. Thank you very much, Lewis Chambers. No, they didn't. So the thing with Target and the sellout, I'll be 100% honest with you. I think Target put it up too early. And I don't think they sold out probably so much as they sold out as in Target took it down that it was no longer available. Sulper says it's still up. The pre-order, no, the video's still up. Yeah, video's still up. 100% still up. I've got it linked in my video here. Oh, your average gamer, you know what's under the blanket. Same thing that Cool Toy has in his house right now that he's making a review of. But I'm not allowed to say for whatever reason, which doesn't make any sense. I'm waiting to see if the price is going to be lower. I can't risk buying this thing if I'm going to buy Ralph's Real KI LOL. Having 3 Killer Instinct variations seems crazy. Yeah. Good. Thank you very much, Alan. My color down here on OBS is going all over the place, and I don't know what's going on. No, it's not a deception, so I can't officially say what it is because I've been told I can't say what it is, but, I mean, you know what it is. Would they cancel and refund the pre-orders? No. I don't think Target would do that. I think they're just going to wait till the rest come out. I think when... Oh, no, there's reviews, Mad Dads, of what's under that, but we're not allowed to do it yet. We're waiting on an official date when we can announce that we have it, when we can put our videos up. So I'm lagging behind. I was only supposed to have it for 7 days, and I just got caught. I've got so much going on, so I've got to get mine shot tomorrow, hopefully. Well, I'm also building an arcade from scratch. Did Ralph ever finish the KI Killer Arcade games? I don't know if Ralph did. I haven't seen anything else on it. I would say it's... I know you're asking Killer Arcade games, and sorry for jumping in, Chris. I don't know, but I saw him working on it, but it's definitely not in his arcade right now. It's probably out in his garage. Yeah, it is the worst kept secret in the community, your average gamer. I don't know, but I know that I'm in exactly the same situation as Cool Toy. I've got it for a limited amount of time, and then I've got to pass it on to somebody else. Yeah, Lewis Chambers, I think you're under the same understanding that I am. So it's just, he's got so much stuff, man. Like, it's hard. Like, arcade collecting, like, I don't know. Star Wars back in stock. The real stand-up Star Wars? If this game is so hard to run on the PCB, maybe it might take longer to work out the bugs. If new PCB runs well, it means more power games like Sega Light Guns and racing games. Man, yeah, I think we're all waiting for that. And honestly, Outrun, believe it or not, Outrun's not easy to run. And Big Buck Hunter with the fans that you can hear running, I think they're pushing the chips to their hardest right now. So I think most will come. Zod Rider, furniture collecting. Real arcade cabinets isn't furniture collecting too, is it, Zod Rider? Sit down Star Wars. Yeah, I saw that a couple days ago. That's if you want to sit down. I mean, I don't think the sit down Star Wars is a good emulation of what that cockpit Star Wars was. But, you know, if you like it and you're interested in it, Star Wars Arcade is probably still my favorite Arcade1Up, so. Goat Mystic said it was no harder to run than NBA Jam. That's interesting. Chris will be at the top of the KI leaderboards. Twisted Chris or Killer Arcade Games, or both? Jason M. Hey, King Kong, what's happening? Jason M., I think the thing with any Arcade1Up right now is all of them are really in limited quantities. Something David McIntosh said a couple years ago after they had the big splurge a couple years ago with the $50 Arcade1Ups that were going out the door around the same time, Marvel Superheroes and all that stuff. They wanted to make their supply a little bit more limited and all their cabinets more so that once it's gone, it's gone. And the only ones that were going to be seasonal that you'd probably be able to get regularly were the Legacy Editions. So if Star Wars is gone, it's gone. Just because it's limited and maybe it'll get a re-release later on down the line. But if you don't have it, you don't have it, right? If you have a Star Wars, buy it and put a riser on it. Well, you got to get that special riser, the extra big one, right? Yes, Stevie, I'm 100% with you on that. I don't like the console games on the Arcade1Up cabinets, but if you look at it as just extras, it don't really matter. I mean, I don't really care. I'm probably not going to play them anyways. So it looks like they've moved away from Battletoads versus Double Dragon, which was kind of alluded to early. And now they're going to be offering the 8-bit version of Battletoads. And then it says 16-bit Battletoads. And we're not 100% sure if that means 16-bit Battletoads, which I believe there was a Sega Genesis version of Battletoads in 16-bit, or if it's going to be Battletoads and Battlemaniacs that was on the Super Nintendo. We'll have to see. Papa Brad, I agree too. I really only buy these because I want to play arcade games. If there's console games on a cab, I'm literally never going to play it. Legends, I need that tournament edition deck like yesterday. Oh, do you mean the 4-player or new deck design for Big Blue? Yeah. Benji's Garage Game says he likes the console games on the cab. Jim Harper, yeah, I think people were really upset that the new Turtles only had 2 games on it again because they didn't feel like... Killer Arcade Games, I'm happy to say the food truck that I get all those burgers from is going to be closing down pretty soon, and my heart and my body can get a rest, but oh, man, it's so good. Like, honestly, I love hamburgers. It's like the biggest, like, I don't eat chips, chocolate bars, any of that stuff. That's not my jam at all, but, like, and hamburgers, love them. And this food truck that I go to is just amazing. So Johnny Amaze, I know the one closest to me because they had 2 food trucks this summer. That didn't help things. One was really close to my house. The one close to my house is closing at the end of the month. So we're getting to the end of the season. Food trucks are shutting down. And then I'll be on burger Lent until next April. March, April, they'll come out again. Yeah. I bet online Golden Tee and online bowling would be the number 2 seller behind Pac-Man. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, Lewis Chambers, I think it's only a matter of time before we get a new Golden Tee. I don't know what the holdup with it is. I know right now there's a re-release of the original Golden Tee kind of going around. Hey, Brian Trusty, what's happening, brother? Good to see you too. So I know there's a re-release of the original Golden Tee going around now, but I've been told once this is gone, it's gone. You're not going to be able to get the original Golden Tee anymore. So they just built their last Golden Tee cabinets they're ever going to build, and it's it. Nicholas, what's happening, brother? Yeah, Master Jam. Sorry, guys. Master Jam, there's 2 bonus games in the Killer Instinct cabinet. So what is announced is Killer Instinct 2, and Battletoads, all the arcade versions. And then it's going to be Battletoads 8-bit, the console version, and Battletoads 6-bit, 16-bit, which we're not sure of. Hey, Ed, what's happening, brother? Yeah, just before it ended, we're going to be closing up in the next couple of minutes. Is that the one with the golden T? Is that the one with the puck? Yeah, that's the one with the puck. Watch, they will release golden T with online, but leaderboard only. I almost died, Lewis. That's true. I don't know how you would do golden. Like, it would be great if you could do multiple people on golden T, but I think that you're going to see Wi-Fi more so for fighting games and... Yep, P-dubs, you got a good point. But I think you're going to see fighting games definitely going to have Wi-Fi. Beat-em-ups are going to have Wi-Fi. But some of the stuff that's a little bit weirder to play, I think it's going to be like Golden Tee would probably be leaderboards where you can change your score. But you should be able to play against other people. I don't know how much fun that would be. But it depends. Do you want to see other people play, or do you just want to compare your scores against their scores? I don't know how you can do this. Michael's going on 2-hour stream. Yeah, if I had started at the original time I said I was going to start, this would be a 2-hour stream, wouldn't it? Oh, I think there'll definitely be a Konami Legacy. I don't know about Data East Legacy. El Tico, what's happening, brother? What's the recap on my arcade? Nicholas, I am very, very ashamed to say that I was in there the other day, and I was going through the arcade games I have, and in the past couple months, I've actually replaced a lot of my original arcade cabinets, and of the arcade cabinets I have in my arcade, the only original I think that's left now, from when I first started, is my Turtles, because I sold... Street Fighter, sold Mortal Kombat, sold Final Fight, and then everything after that I kept, I think. I don't know. But like I'm at the point where I ran out of room and I've just been selling stuff and then bringing new stuff in. Yeah, Killer Arcade Games, I think I'm closing up now too. I'm going to close up a couple minutes early tonight, guys, because I want to get down and play some Big Blue. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Lewis Chambers, for dropping the KI Strategy Guide. If anybody hasn't, go check out the download that's already there. Go check out the video, but knowing the sizzle reel, this is the most important thing. Everything on that sizzle reel, unfortunately, is out of date, and the gameplay apparently was just taken from YouTube and not representative of the gameplay that's going to be on Killer Instinct. Don't do hot takes on sizzle reels and other videos that are out there. There's always more information. That's the moral of the story. Is Killer Instinct going to be good? You can bet your ass I think it's going to be pretty good. But that video didn't do it any favors. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me again for another Chill and Chat with Michael B. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you next time.